Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Many a True Nerd, and welcome back to Skies of Arcadia. Where last time, things went from worse to even worse than that. Ramirez and Galcian can now call down the apocalypse anytime they want to, from within their fortress that's protected by an everything-proof shield. That's the bad news. The good news is, I've got one crucial thing on my side. And that is the power of friendship. Because you see, it turns out we've made quite a few friends over the course of our adventure, and they've all decided to come along and help me fight one desperate final last stand against Galcian's fleet. So, okay, you know what? I'd say it's time to jump straight into that. And here we flippy go. The Delphina's setting off for its final desperate fight, but we're not alone. Here we go, we've got Baltor and all of his lovely friends, magnificent. Then we've got Clara and the magnificent Primrose waiting for our command, beautiful. And take good care of Gilda. Don't worry, Clara, I will do, no trouble whatsoever. And my dad's decided to come and help us out too. I love the fact my dad comes along, together with, you know, all our old enemies, as well as our old friends. That's beautiful. And of course, you know, even though Gilda's with me, his crew's still gonna show up to assist. Why the cock not, eh? And arguably the most important of all, the Yafu Toman fleet, which is, you know, quite big and also incredibly bloody stylish. You know, we put together quite a cocking armada here. A drachma too, just all our old friends showing up here. It's just the best. I love this game so very, very much. So, the Delphinus is ready when you are. It's time to go and kick some ass. And doesn't actually matter what you say here. You get bonus swashbuckler points regardless. So, let's go make some history. This day will always be remembered. How it's remembered is up to us. Right here, right now, let's make history. So, oh yeah, that's one hell of an armada. This game is just the best. I love it so much. Though unfortunately, we're not the only ones with an armada. And Galcian, as it turns out, has got, yes, another trick up his sleeve too. His Sky Fortress, the Hydra, together with, you know, a lot of cocky boats. Very advanced new ones, using all that new technology that's been developed over the course of the game. So, my first stop is Nazra. Since we've already destroyed Nazrad, they will beg for mercy, especially after what we did to Valois. And my lord, shall I accompany you? And it is not necessary. If any countries resist, we shall destroy them with the rains. I need you here to defend Soltis and command Zelos to rain down on our enemies. A wise decision. So okay, Ramirez and Galcian are now separated. Galcian travelling around to accept everyone's surrender, Ramirez staying by Zelos in Soltis. And my lord, an unknown fleet of ships is headed this way at attack speed. I can't identify the fleet, but leading the charge is the Delphinus. So, the air pirates have come to challenge me. Saves me the trouble of hunting them down. I shall purge the skies of their kind forever, so yes, Galcian seeing this potentially as an opportunity. All of his enemies are coming straight to him, meaning, yeah, he might be able to snuff out all resistance in a one go. And Lord Galcian, maybe I should go as well. Okay, Ramirez, however, is a tiny bit concerned. And no, we cannot lose Soltis, return at once. So okay, Ramirez is not keen on leaving Galcian's side during a major fight, but okay, Galcian is certain, and he's got confidence in his brand new Sky Fortress, the Hydra. And here we flippy go. The Hydra starts moving forward, together with the rest of Galcian's gigantic fleet. So, oh yeah, he's not really that intimidated by the Armada of Friendship. And here we flippy go. So, right, the way this works is we've got to blast our way through a couple of lines of Galcian's troops. The first fights, however, are basically just warm-ups. We don't need to worry about them. And do bear in mind, if we come under attack at this point, yes, Gilda's got the best defense. So, if we need to block, he's the person that ought to do it. But yeah, fight number one is just against a basic Valo and mage ship. So, yeah, that just went down in a single round because I've been upgrading, you know, my cannons, torpedoes, etc, etc. As I say, this is just A very small warm-up designed to slowly wear us down a bit. Step by step, we just need to, you know, blast our way through the lines to Galcian's more elite troops. So, okay, front line goes down, but it feels like, yes, Galcian was definitely just tossing trash at us. So next up, yes, we've got something a lot more elite looking. One of, you know, Galcian's new ships. Still, I feel like, yes, we should be able to deal with this in much the same way. Just lay down some torpedoes on the crit turn, power up the ship, etc, etc. So alright buddy, what can you do to me? So a Serpent Cannon at 2.5k. Honestly, not terrible, I've seen worse, but yeah. I feel like, oh dear, the Rapid Cannon even worse there. Oh, you're gonna regret picking a fight with me in a second. Okay, here we go, all cannons afire, torpedoes coming in, 30k, right, that is about half and a half, so one more round should bring you down. So yeah, they're not nothing, but we do not need to be going into, you know, turn 3 for a Moonstone Cannon. I think we're well under control, actually. So, one more X-Cannon, there we go, so okay. The next tap's going to finish him off, and no trouble there whatsoever. He comes in with Serpent Cannon, a bit unlucky there, only did a very small amount of damage, lovely. So okay, now we heal up to not quite full, but pretty nearby. And if we're lucky, hang on, here comes the Sub-Cannon, 6k, nice and easy. So, right, second wave goes down, the Delphinus is tearing apart the Armada, but, as I say, Galcian's most definitely brought a bit of a secret weapon along. Oh yes, and something to check out later. We've also picked up the Crystal Cannon, though we can't install that right now, so yes, I'll try and remember to look at that later. My lord, the air pirates have broken our lines. The Delphinus is headed straight for us, so, right, our Armada has done pretty well against his. We've broken through, we're coming for Galcian directly. Unfortunately, yes, Galcian once again does not seem that worried. So well done, Vice. You shall live just long enough to feel the destructive power of the Hydra. So all cannons, fire on the Delphinus, and, yes indeed. It turns out, as I say, there is a gigantic, weird-looking enemy ship ahead. Honestly, more of a flying city than anything else. And Enrique suddenly realizes what he's looking at. No, it can't be. It's called the Hydra. It was dubbed the Flying Fortress. Galcian must have had his own men complete it. My mother wanted its production stopped because of its magnitude. And why wasn't it big enough? I do enjoy Gilda. Gilda's great. So, right. A gigantic flying fortress that even Avalor thought was too expensive to bother finishing, but Galcian decided to wrap it up by himself. Still, that does mean one thing. We're pretty confident if, you know, that's Galcian's flying fortress, that's where he is. Take down that thing, and Galcian goes down with it. So, here we flipping go. Yes, this thing is, swimming in guns, by the way. There are so many cocky guns on this thing. And it's hiding a couple of other secrets too. And when I say this thing's got a lot of guns, yes, what I mean is, it basically never stops firing. This thing will be constantly firing on you, like, all the time. So, yes, this fight could definitely drain your health in a hurry. And as we can't afford, yeah, the Moonstone Cannon up front to just start firing on you, that's absolutely fine. Get the Apo Wax straight away there, we'll fire during the crit turn. The other two turns, okay. I'm going to say, yeah, Fina, you focus up there, and then at the end of the turn, we'll drop a lovely complete kit to get ourselves back up to full health. So, let's just check how much damage it can do to us. So, step 1, just, you know, increase our defenses. I do enjoy, by the way, that thing's allowed to take evasive action. I feel like it shouldn't be called that, like it should have a special name. I feel like that thing is not, like, dodging out of the way of my shots, but whatever. So, okay. As we just, you know, rotate around it, it just keeps firing at us. And we come in with 15k, not bad at all, but as you can see, it's got a lot of cocking health, and it can also keep firing. Still, the one advantage is, my ship with its current crew loadout has got pretty good dodge, so it can't hit us every time. When it does though, it's going to cocking a hurt. That was a good 8,000, so, yeah. 8k, and that was only like half. If both attacks hit, we would have taken more damage. So, okay. You've got to be careful here. if you don't get lucky with the dodges, there can most definitely be a spot of trouble. And as you can see, the situation's going to get worse before it gets better. This turn, it's nothing but yellows, and next turn, we go into red. So, okay, we're not going to do much better than, you know, a moonstone cannon. That's all absolutely fine, and, okay. Do I really want to be, like, firing sub-cannons during this critical turn? I feel like the answer's no, and I'm going to do torpedo into, yeah, the next crit round. Beyond that, yeah, just do a bit of focus, a little bit of healing and midway through the turn, fire the torpedo at the end, and here we go. Let's do some proper cocky damage. Moonstone cannon getting ready to fire, and off she goes. So, right, nice thing is, yeah, it's not too difficult to hit this thing because it's a gigantic cocking fortress, but okay, 30,000. Honestly, yeah, when the Delphinus get sufficiently powerful, you might want to consider turning down Moonstone Cannon just because I think you get more damage just piling up conventional damage on critical turns, which feels really weird because, you know, at the start of the game, it's all about the Harpoon Cannon. And, you know, when you first get the Delphinus, it's still all about the Moonstone Cannon. But by the late game, advanced cannons can actually do more if you line them up right. Still, here we go, more damage coming in, so right, his sub-cannons are about 4,000, depending on, you know, who's in command at the time. So, you know, we've shaken off that straight away. There's probably going to be more coming in too. So there we go, there's our torpedo coming in next round when we've got the crit coming in. So, yeah, next turn we're going to lay a lot of damage on that crit. And if we're lucky, yeah, that should significantly out-damage the Moonstone Cannon. Though this round we've now got our first red, so okay. Begin laying down a fire. No trouble there whatsoever. Do I want to just fire straight through the red turn? I think I do. I'm going to fire straight through, so right. We've now got ourselves sub-cannon, torpedo, and main cannon, all landing on the crit turn. I think that's good. And yeah, just drop a bit of light healing after we're done. That red's probably going to hurt. Then Gilda guards on the second red. So, okay, begin firing. That's a good 8,000. Not bad as a starting point, but that wasn't even a crit turn. So, okay, here comes a Hydra launcher. They're like mortar or something. And here we go. Everything comes in, and honestly, I'm a tiny bit underwhelmed. I feel like none of those were crits. If we got some crits, that might have been better. So, okay, pretty solid, though, yeah, we could have done more. And now, of course, yes, he's going to get another couple of hits in, including a big one at the end, but we're going to be guarding at the time. It shouldn't be so bad. Oh, never mind, that final big hit never came, so, right, fascinating. I'm not sure why he didn't attack during the red turn, but he didn't, so, okay. We've now got a choice. We can either attack, yes, the top of the ship, or the bottom. Basically, you're choosing how high risk you want the fight to be. If you go for the upper part, you're generally going to be taking less damage, but also doing less damage. Go for the hull, meanwhile, you're playing a higher risk game. You're going to be taking damage more constantly, but you're also generally going to do more in return. Like, as the turns go on, we're going to get more crits, etc. So I'm going to go for hull, because I'm pretty confident in, yes, my Delphinus. Okay, just to keep firing with the X's, etc, etc. But beyond that, we need to do, yeah, a fair whack of focusing to make sure we get the Moonstone Cannon in next turn. Though thinking about it, oh dear. This is, yes, turn of 4, isn't it? Meaning Apo Wax is going to wear off next turn. Right, I need to reapply that, otherwise I won't have it during the Moonstone Cannon, which would be a problem. So, right, reapply that, and you have to focus in the red turn. Okay, everything comes in, and that's more cocking like it. That's what I wanted to see, a good 30,000 damage right there on the hull. Lovely. So, okay, Gilda then focuses, and we might be about to be hit by something pretty nasty, but even if we do, Gilda's in command right now, so yeah, there's the launcher. And we get lucky, it's a miss. Good, 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 good. And unfortunately, yes, remember how I said the Hydra's got some tricks up its sleeve? When it gets sufficiently low health, it decides to start revealing them. Because, it's got one extra weapon it hasn't bothered showing us yet. and it's about to be revealed. So, yeah, it turns out there's a gigantic cocking cannon hidden away in the hull, and basically, he's about to start using it. A lot. And until I've verified, yes, what it can and can't do, drop a tiny bit of light healing just before it comes in, and keep Gilda on guarding duty. Gilda is very good at guarding, even though he's like, 10 levels lower than the rest of the team. His defensive stats are still superior, so, okay. One Moonstone Cannon right into the center should do a good 20-30,000. Marvelous. There we go, 28. Very nice. So, right, now we're wearing her down beautifully. But, yes, now it's just, a matter of time until she's ready to fire the Mega Cannon. Oh, and here she flipping comes. The Hydra Cannon is ready to fire, and this thing is no cocking joke. This is basically, Galcian's Death Star laser right here. It's delightfully nonsensically powerful, and, okay. What's it gonna do to us? Only 5k. Alright, I will take that. Wax up, Gilda guarding, yeah. If you've got someone else in control, that could do an easy 20,000 to your ship. So, I will take 5k every day of the week. So in which case, yeah, we can do some light fire this turn, but I also want to be most definitely, yeah, doing a tiny bit of focus. Then Gilda just guards through the Hydra beam, and yeah, as long as Gilda's guarding the main attack, I think we should be okay. At this point, we're just wearing her down. Oh yeah, on this occasion it wasn't even the Hydra Cannon, it was just that launcher. So, right, barely 3k. Once again, yeah, we've now got a choice, hull or upper, and based on what we saw last time, we want the... Okay, that wasn't what I thought was about to happen. I thought it was the other way round, but okay, no matter, we still get, a lovely exchange of fire. And if she's still standing next turn, we've got a guaranteed crit. This one I can't be bamboozled out of, damn it. But yeah, I'd say we're pretty safe to just start, yeah, focusing up during this round. It doesn't look that dangerous after the first exchange. Speaking of which, the Death Star's back online, so, right, it was just saving up its energy for this turn, in fact. But, yeah, this should be okay. I say this should be okay. I'm not guarding this turn, and Gilda's not in control, so this might be more like, I don't know, close to 10k. No, there's that 20,000! Still. This does mean we can return fire, and we know they're not guarding this turn either, because they were just firing at us. So, right, at this point, me and Galcian are just basically punching each other in the face. It's great. Let's see if we can get, yes, maybe another... Oh dear! You definitely weren't cocky guarding, were you? So, yeah, basically, we've just criticaled each other, and now we're both looking a bit dicey. But I'd say, yes, the advantage is most definitely mine. Still, I should have gone for, a more powerful healing item. There's another... Oh, never mind! I think the X-Cannon just got enough damage to push her over the edge. So, alright, we have successfully defeated the Hydra. But would you believe it's not quite that simple? The enemy ship has been severely damaged, and it's trying to flee. Galcian's trying to run away. We can't let him escape. We've got to go after him. So, yes indeed, that wasn't enough damage to knock the Hydra out of the sky. We badly damaged her, but if she manages to, get back inside that everything-proof shield, we've lost our chance. Still, bare minimum, we get ourselves even more advanced gear here, moon cannons, moon torpedoes, etc, etc. So, okay, back to Galcian. The pursuit continues. The Hydra is badly wounded, but she's not falling out of the sky just yet. And as Vice points out, yes, this means we're gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. If we can't shoot it out of the sky, that means we're going to have to board and finish this hand-to-hand. So, in we flippy go on our tiny shuttle and... okay, it turns out the guns are like, still quite operational. But that's fine, bit of fancy flying, I'm sure we'll get through that, no problem whatsoever. And on top of that, we can even do, a fancy leaping off our boat entrance, which is just magnificent too. So, right, time for us to board the Hydra and make this happen. Also, very cute touch, Enrique is not actually part of our team, of course. You know, Guild is still here. But Enrique's just decided to join us anyway, and he's just going to stand right here next to this hole in the wall to act as a healer in case we need, like, you know, a health top-up during this dungeon. And speaking of this dungeon, yes, there's no major, like, you know, gimmick here, to be honest. This is just a pretty hard dungeon with a fairly hard number of enemies in it. We just need to work our way in, work around, fight the enemies, and slowly make our way round to the bridge where Galcian's waiting for us. So, yeah. There's an interior bit and an exterior bit, but it's not too difficult to navigate, really, though I will say, I do enjoy how many, like, you know, turning bits and moving bits and engine parts there are. That I find delightful. So for the time being, just to keep on keeping on across where you can, keep an eye out for, yes, a lovely valor and a treasure chest and whatnot, and there we go. One X-Cannon, though we've already got the X-Cannon. Though yeah, if you hadn't been checking the shops, this might be the first one you've ever seen. Oh, that does remind me, by the way. Okay, let's take a moment to talk about cannons, which is, yes, the lovely X-Cannon that just did so well against Galcian. The Moon Cannon is pretty much just a straight upgrade. It does way more damage, it's a tiny bit more accurate, it even costs less spirit to fire. So basically, yes, just move straight over to that. The Crystal Cannon is a bit more of a funny one. So yeah, like a magical cannon that's got purple properties. The attack is huge, a 550, and the spirit is only 4. This thing is so cheap to fire. But yeah, the chance to hit is fairly underwhelming. So this thing is really a bit of a gamble. But I tell you what, it's not a bad thing to keep in the back pocket. So I'm going to replace my second X-Cannon with this thing. And as for the Moon Torpedo, this thing is ridiculous. 50% more powerful, and it only costs 3 spirit to fire, with the same limit of 3. So basically, yes, every cocky time, Galcian gives you some amazing gear. Anyway, keep on keeping on, because there we go, I was expecting trouble sooner or later. Would you believe Galcian's flagship is filled with Valorwood troops that don't really want you here? Including, yes, various soldiers that once upon a time used to be functionally bosses. We've got, you know, very similar sorcerers to those we saw in the Colosseum back in the day. And just out of interest, so I know, you know, whether this is going to work or not, I'm going to drop an Omega Cyclone just to see, yes, whether that does, like, anything to them whatsoever. Everybody else basically just focus, and we'll see, yeah, how much damage this could do. So, okay, as I say, I could kind of drops off at the end of the game there. Still, Visor's going to do some very, very good work. We got rid of you, magnificent. And okay, at this point, yeah, given it's nothing but sorcerers, Delta Shield is just going to hard counter them. Not to be honest, that really matters, because I feel like a Rain of Swords is about to, you know, mess up their day anyway. Still, we've now learnt a lot about what's going on here. Plenty of sorcerers, meaning, yeah, we may well want to be using Delta Shields a lot. And Fina just picked up Drillnos. Brilliant. So okay, against a large group of tough enemies, yeah, she can use that to potentially debuff them if that's what we want to do. Anyway, keep on keeping on, and you'll soon emerge out onto, yeah, the top of the Hydra, and encounter the closest thing this dungeon has to a trick, which is, inside it's all fairly linear. But outside, you may notice around us, yeah, there's multiple ways to go. The top of the ship is wide open. So, you know, you've got to find your way ultimately round to Galcian, and you don't know which door he's behind. But basically, yeah, if you want to get all the stuff and whatnot, kick off on the easternmost side and work your way west so you don't miss any treasure chests or whatnot. So, okay. With that in mind, just down ladder number 1 here. And now we're just over the road from, yes, where we started. So here we go, behind door number 1, it's another cocking moonberry. And on the other side of, yeah, the path on the very far east of the base, 3 Sacralin crystals. Not bad at all, though, honestly, if you're not going for, like, you know, collecting every treasure chest in the game, there's nothing actually unique or special in here, just a handful of decently useful but not spectacular items. Okay, back up top, around to door number 2, or rather 3, I suppose. 2's where we actually came in just a second ago. Magnificent, and I do enjoy how you can literally, like, you know, see the Yafu Toman and Black Pirate ships still skirmishing against the Galcian surviving ships in the distance. That's delightful. Anyway, behind door number 2, yeah, this one's a bit underwhelming, just a lovely magic point regenerating item. That's literally your lot, because as you'd probably guess, what we're trying to do ultimately is make it towards that big central passageway on the map down in the bottom right. And the only way to do that is, yes, come in at the top left and work my way across and down. So, yeah, you could sort of like, plot out your route a bit just by looking at where the paths go while you're in the adjacent sections. So, back up top and down the final ladder. Anyway, final section here, there's no treasure chest or anything, just a mosey straight over, and you can find your way straight to the central passageway, bringing you, yes, into a rather fancy room right here. Presumably, like, I don't know, the generator, reactor, this is how moonstones make powered ships, I guess, I don't know. And maybe more ominously, yes, a save point, so I think you can probably guess what's about to happen. Here we go, just to clamber up the ladder at the back of the room, and we've made it to what would appear to be the bridge. So Galcian must be in there. And well, I guess we'll just have to break down the door, won't we? And that will not be necessary. So, okay. Galcian, officially so much of a badass that, he's not going to force us to break our way in to fight him. Oh no, he's coming out to cocking meters. I did not realise there were still this many people foolish enough to resist me. And you guys have caused me more trouble than anyone. And thanks, it's an air pirate's duty to cause trouble. I feel so accomplished. And there's one more thing I'd like to do yet. I want to rid the world of you. And very amusing, but this world shall be mine. It's a pity you won't be around to see it. And now, you shall feel my wrath. So, here we flipping go. Naturally, yes, this wasn't actually the first time we could have fought Galcian. When we were being chased by him on the train, if you just stop or turn around and run into him, you do end up in a fight with him, where he will have all his moves, all his stats, just like right now. But, in that scenario, yes, much like Ramirez in the past, he did have 10 million hit points, so, fighting him wasn't a good idea. This time I was about to say it's much more of a fair fight. I mean, he's much stronger than us, but there's 4 of us, 1 of him, and we've got a lot of tricks up our sleeves, so, okay. Starting off, yes, one very important thing about Galcian to know immediately. The lad knows death magic, just like Piastol did back in the day. He can just do magic that kills you instantly. For this reason, yeah, it's really sensible to just have Delta Shield up, like, all the time. It's pretty cheap, it's only going to eat, like, 2 spirit a turn. Just do it. It's better than just suddenly dying because Galcian broke out the death magic. So yeah, we'll open up with a basic Cutlass Fury, see what that does. Okay, you're on Delta Shield, though yes, like Piastol, we can kind of predict him by assuming he's not going to do magic 2 turns in a row. Generally, the AI doesn't like to repeat itself, so yeah. If he does it once, we can, yeah, maybe take a turn out to do something else the following turn. Fina, for the time being, you're on a Glyph of Might duties, beautiful, and Gilda, you just focus. Because yes, obviously, Galcian is very dangerous because we don't have Enrique here. With Enrique, and thus Justice Shield, yeah, the fight is a lot safer. Because, you can protect your weaker party members, like Ica and Fina in particular. When you don't have Justice Shield, stuff can be dangerous. Still, Cutlass Fury there does a good amount of damage. 2k without Glyph of Might. I'll take it. And here we go, Galcian breaking out the magic straight away. So on this occasion, not death magic instead, yellow magic. So I'm going to call that a huge win right there. Because that's just completely eliminated that turn. He didn't achieve anything. So he's probably not going to do it again. Which could mean, yeah, I could risk getting off a Pirate's Wrath if I wanted to. I'm going to do that. I think it's worth the risk. And that gives everyone else the freedom to, yeah, focus, start tossing out some magic. We'll try some Crystalline, see what that does. You focus too. So okay, we got some good focusing on. I just love Ica's weapon. I love the giant Dreamcast lollipop, it's great. Here comes the Pirate's Wrath, and this is going to cocky sting Galcian. Because now I've got, yes, the lovely Incremon Visor, and this is a much stronger attack. So, here he comes with the giant skull and crossbones, and 8,000. Good. He's already down towards half health. Marvellous. But Galcian's already, broken out his most powerful abilities yet. Oh, here we go. Right, it's time for some anime nonsense, because Galcian most definitely has anime nonsense, which is, he basically gets to go to space, right, and then he decides to dive out of space in order to stab us with a giant electro sword that also, blows up all the ships in the sky. And he's going for Vise. Good. Good, good, good. Because that could pretty much just one-shot Ica or Fina. So, I'm going to call that a huge win. Yeah, 3k on Vise, and Vise is pretty tough when it comes down to, defenses and whatnot. Fina would have taken way more damage. And because we were focusing last turn, I could Pirate's Wrath again, but that would leave me without, cover from Delta Shield, which I don't want to do, to be honest. I want to get Delta Shield back up. He could break out the death magic this turn. So in which case, okay. Fina, you're now on healing duties. Please, just drop a Sacral and Crystal on a Voice if you'd be so kind. And Gilda, honestly, just keep focusing. But I feel like, yes, he might alternate magic and regular attacks. So, we'll see what he does. Just move in with this. This should be a good, 2,500. Good. Good, good, good. And we get the heal in before Galcian gets to go again. Galcian is strong, but he's slow. So even my slower team members do get the attacks in first, which is good. So, okay, this is going pretty well so far, in part because, there we go, magic. So he probably won't do that next turn, which is really, really good. So, okay, that means now we can Pirate's Wrath pretty happily. And on top of that, we can just keep on keeping on with a regular focus, if that's what we want to do. Though I'd say with 2 focuses in the bag, I'm happy to break out Gunslinger, because honestly, why not shoot Galcian while we're here anyway? And he may do Terminal again, but he does have other abilities too, so okay. Bring out the Pirate's Wrath. That is not quite the kill, but I suspect that means, never mind, he's going to get one more attack in, Niglora. So this is the, I think, group attack, if I'm remembering right. So basically he just, summons up some gigantic crystal anime nonsense and uses that to do damage to the entire field. And, destroy. Gonna be honest, Galcian, that was downright weirdly weak. It does actually, break any of my benefits and whatnot. It got rid of my Incram. But I still feel like, that should have done more damage, Galcian. And now we're going to defeat Galcian, not by, beating him up as Vise, as part of a big character arc thing. No, Gilda's just going to shoot him to death. You know what? I like that. That Gilda, this random guy who just drops in and out of the party, is just going to shoot Galcian until he dies. That's great, actually. I appreciate that. So, we blew up Galcian's ship, and that didn't kill him. Then we came and, shot him. And would you believe, that's not necessarily going to do the job either. Still, we do get one new item, the Valor Medallion. So okay, the lad's down on the ground, but he's not quite out yet. How could this be? I will not be defeated. And your reign of terror is over. And I don't think so. Okay, he's still got something in mind. You may have won the fight, but I shall have my revenge. And with that, it turns out, his entire bridge was in fact a secret escape pod. Fools, when will you realise you cannot stop me? Now I shall destroy every last one of you. So okay, Galcian, showed up with layers of defence stacked on layers of secret plans. The lads, came prepared for this, and there he flipping goes. And I thought he was too arrogant to have an escape pod. Oh no, Galcian's a smart cookie. He was definitely going to have an escape pod. And Vise, he's getting away. We've got to do something. And if he gets away, he'll retreat back to Soltis. We'll never get another chance to stop him. Unfortunately, the other pirates are tied up fighting with the Armada. But then, Gilda sees something. There's another ship up there. And here's a face you probably weren't expecting to see. It's Belleza. And meanwhile, back in Soltis, I think Ramirez has realised that something's gone wrong too. Belleza, you survived the attack on Valois. Lord Galcian, so many innocent people died by your hand. Women and children bled to death in the streets. As an admiral in the Armada, I feel I am responsible for their deaths, as much as you are.
Goodbye, my love.
What?
And there we go. With a confirmation that Belleza was in fact talking about Galcian when she mentioned the person she loved all the way back at the Temple of Piran. Both ships fall into deep sky. Unfortunately, yes, there may be some consequences to the fact Belleza just did that. Because Ramirez is very much aware of what happened, and let's just say he's not taking it well. No, the lad is not happy about this at all. Instead, he falls to the ground in Soltis, sobbing and beating the ground, and I think he's not happy. Lord Galcian, you shall be avenged. So yes, don't forget, Ramirez is sitting underneath the apocalypse button, and we just really, really cocking annoyed him. Meaning, yes, things are very much not over yet. Vies, something bad's happening. And you're not cocking wrong, Ica, because that's what Soltis looks like when it's about to start the apocalypse cannon. And yes, indeed, there's literally nothing we could do to stop him. We still don't know how to get through the damn shields. But then suddenly, Fina has an odd feeling. And Elders? Oh no. High up in the sky, something else rather unexpected is happening. The Silver Space Station is returning back to Arcadia. So alright, mosey inside to the lovely two-dimensional lands. Unfortunately, yes, everything is now very much falling apart. Fina, Soltis used to be our home. We created it from nothing, and now we must destroy it. For 1,000 generations, we have judged the people of this world. Everything we have created, Soltis, Zelos, the Reigns, was all because these people did not measure up to our standards. Fina, by believing in the people of this world, you have taught us a great deal. And there we go. Ramirez's bedroom. We saw that, of course. And Fina's doll in her bedroom. Unfortunately, she didn't take it with her. We sent you here to help us destroy the world. But now we're going to help you save it. There is no need to be sad. If we had not created the Reigns of Destruction, the world would not be in jeopardy. Please, for the sake of the future, for the sake of this world, you must prevail. So alright, they're bringing their space station back down at great cocking speed. Meanwhile, yes, Ramirez, maybe not quite realising what's going on, is trying to activate his apocalypse beam. So, as I say, things go a bit bananas at the end of the skies of Arcadia. It's great. So, beam goes up, and the space station catches it, coming straight back down. And as it just hurtles straight down towards the shields. The Dome of Light has been destroyed. All of a sudden, we could get to Soltis. However, it was to great cost. Fina's home, and every Sylvite she ever knew, is now dead. Fina and Ramirez, in fact, are probably the last of the Sylvites now. And the Elders, they finally believed in the future. They sacrificed themselves to give us a chance at saving the world. And I'll make sure their sacrifice was not in vain. So alright, thanks to them, we finally got a shot, and there's one rather exciting thing too. Boy, looks like it's finally time to go to Soltus. And here we go, it's cocky Drachma back again. We've defeated the Armada, most of the ships fled once the Hydra was destroyed. Alright, we've got Enrique back on our boat too. It's time to go to Soltus, boy. Look over there. And yes indeed, just as we saw the very first time we arrived, Shrine Island is still present. That's how we're getting in. And Drachma's return, by the way, is not just, a lovely reappearance from a character we knew earlier in the game. At this point, instead, something rather exciting and sexy happens. If we step out onto the deck all of a sudden, you'll notice, yes, Gilda, Drachma, and over here Enrique are all present on the Delphinus. And you can now switch between them at will, picking whichever team you want to be travelling with. So okay, with that done, we could now proceed straight to Soltus to confront Ramirez, but defeating Galcian actually opens up a whole bunch of other stuff around the world too. A particularly odd mystery about the world of Arcadia can now be solved, and on top of that we've also got all the pieces we need to let Vise finally ascend to the ultimate swashbuckler ranking of Legend, and that itself opens up a handful of additional secrets. So, okay. It's the beginning of the end, ladies and gentlemen, and next time we are going to start wrapping up our adventure by digging into, yes, some of the biggest and most elusive secrets in the entire game. So hopefully you join me for that. But in the meantime, I've been John, this has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been Skies of Arcadia. Thank you very much, and goodbye. If we just hide the bodies, nobody needs to know about this. Yes! My stupid plan has worked! It turns out I'm a genius! The giant rad scorpion is not gone! Oh, hang on, there's more yet though, I'm still being very shocked. Guys, where's the NCR? Nobody needs to know.